for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and them back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo and let's go. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva. Them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating no dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really doubt it. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them. Yeah, and Connie got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.
Good morning, everybody. It's Sam Torres here from the 440 Sports Show. TGIF. Thank God it is Friday. We made it through another week. Getting ready for some great stuff coming up this weekend, including the All-Star game right down there at the Beagley Center at Youngstown State. There is an absolute ton, and I mean a ton, of representation from Ashtabula. That's gonna be right there, including starting off at the coaching with Randy Venzel and going all the way up to the broadcasting with a ton of players in there. I'll be broadcasting the game with my main man Ty Bartell. Ty Bartell gonna help me on the broadcast. I gotta do what I gotta check the sound. All right, there we go. Good deal. So that, again, that one is going to start at the girls' game will start at 5:00. So for the players who are going to be taking part in this game, you're going to want to get there, I would say 4:00 is close to 4:00 as you possibly can. That's when registration is going to open up. The boys' game will start right after, or, shortly after the girls' game at 7:00. I would say, it's important for them to get there early as well. Obviously, you want to go out and support the ladies when they're playing their game. But I would think that the girls are going to hold priority because their game starts right there at an hour. Open at 5 or open at 4, game starts at 5. So we want to make sure everybody's taken care of. I'll go through the waiver and stuff like that. Actually, you know what? We'll do it right now because that's where we're at in the show. So I want to make sure this is very, very important that this gets remembered, this particular waiver. So let's get over. All right. So, you're going to want to find, like right here, it says the boys All-Star game is announced. I'm going to get that pulled over here. So again, I can look at this and the camera. All right, so here we are, ysnlive.com. Bring you right from the beginning steps again here. You bring up ysn.com, the most beautiful website on the internet. You're going to go down here. You're going to find all of your news articles, and, you should be able to, under more posts, you'll be able to find the girls right here. And then the guys, because it was just released not too long ago, is going to be right here. You're going to go ahead and click into that. Shout out to Quinn Puskar for putting that together. There's going to be some information right here, letting you know where it's at, how many people are playing, who's coaching, all that good stuff. This is the important stuff here. If you are on Team Iron or Team Griffiths, you are wearing the home uniforms. The home uniforms are the light uniforms. Very, very important to make sure you have the right uniform. If you're an over planner like I am, I think I'd probably just bring both uniforms just in case, God forbid, we're going to, you go through the names here. A lot of guys from Ashtabula are going to be involved in this game. Jesus Hernandez from St. John. Some guys not from the area that I think you're really going to get a kick out of seeing. Guys like Duncan Moy. Duncan Moy is a high flyer. Terrence Pankey, I've talked about him a whole ton. Jontrell Mixon is a high flyer from Valley Christian. Chase I from Wyndham. He's somebody that people up here are familiar with, at least the St. John people. But, you go down Upshire and Reynolds. They're going to be wearing the away uniforms, which are the dark uniforms. Again, bring one or the other. You know what I mean? Bring the one that you're supposed to, but I'd probably bring both just in case. You never know. Youngstown's far away, and you can't just, go up the street and grab a different uniform if you need it, if you made some kind of mistake. But, you look here at the Team Upshire and Team Reynolds, a lot of guys we know here. Chance Loomis, James Montanaro, Thomas Cardiero. Got a chance to call his game this year, too. He's a really great basketball player. Joey DeGeorge, the big man on campus over there at Jefferson, both literally and metaphorically. I mean, this is the guy that, 25 points a game. This guy is no slouch. Austin Rowe is a kid I think we're going to be talking about for years, as he's a big-time freshman down there at LeBray. Deshaun Williams, I can't say enough about this kid. He's a certified bucket. Kid can shoot the lights out. Just a great, great basketball player. Blake Krasnarek is the same deal. Big kid, high release point, block shots, take shots. He's only a junior, so PV's getting him back, or he's going to be getting back. Or I don't think. Sorry, he's not a junior, but he's going to be playing in some more basketball tournaments over the summer. I just saw. Jaden Payne from Ursuline. Jaden Payne is a very athletic, big guy. He stands at about 6'8", blocks everything in his path and dunks on anybody who makes the mistake of getting in his way. Joey Jackson from West Branch, probably going to be the fastest kid on the court. Can't wait to see these athletes from Youngstown State. Again, you look on here, the directions say check-in is going to begin at 4 o'clock. Girls game starting at 5. All of your pertinent information is going to be right here on www.ysnlive.com. You want to make sure you get over there and check that out. And then down here is probably the most important part of the entire site, and that's this smart waiver. For the athletes, it is so important that you guys get this waiver signed, because unfortunately you can't participate unless it's signed. Now, there will be some paper waivers there, but if or not some paper waivers, I'm sorry. There's going to be a QR code that you can scan there. So you'll be able to fill out one in case of emergency there. But if you're under 18, you're not the only one who needs to sign it. Your parent or guardian has to sign it as well. So, that's very, very important that gets done, because unfortunately you can't play without it. And, that would be awful to get down there and not be able to play after you worked so hard to throughout the year. I want to run through the girls as well. So your coaches there, Team Blatch and Team Hammerton, excuse me. They're going to be wearing the home uniforms. So the light uniforms, home uniforms are the light uniforms. Some names that we're going to recognize on here as well as some that you're not. They're really great basketball players right here on YSN Network. You start off with the first name we recognize on here, and that's going to be Lainey Passanen from Conneaut. We've talked about her basketball IQ, her ability to change the game when she's on the court. She's going to be playing on the home team. So wearing the light jersey, you got Katie McAllister from Edgewood. Very, very fast. Very fast, and last I've heard, I believe she's an All Ohio honorable mention this year for her efforts. Kaylin Hart from Grand Valley going to be out there. Tamora Hoskin. I really am so excited to see this young lady play the game. I got a chance to watch her in the senior game, and it was a ton of fun watching her play the game. She's a very good point guard. She's got a great Euro step to get to the basket. She plays very, very good defense. She's very, very quick. She's a very good point guard. I'm looking forward to getting to watch her play on this upper level in a what should be a competitive game. Moving on down the line, that's going to be it for the Ashtabula folks until we get to the coaching on the next one. And that's going to be Team Turnage and Team Venzel, and that is Randy Venzel of Edgewood. Now this team is going to be wearing the away uniforms, which is the dark uniform. And we're going to start that list off with none other than Alyssa Severa. Talked about her a ton yesterday on the show and how great she was for the softball program. She's equally as great for the basketball program. She's just a phenomenal athlete, and everything she does, she's very good at. And it's not because she doesn't work. She works incredibly hard, and some people got it, and she's one of them. Getting down here and you start covering through some of these names. Mia Contenza from Jefferson going to be there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mia led Jefferson in all scorers this year. Louisville, Struthers. Yeah, and that's going to be it, I believe, for the Ashtabula people. But there are some great players that are going to be out there, including Abby Davidson from Salem. If you haven't got to watch Salem girls basketball this year, head on over to our archive and go check that out, because those girls are very, very good. JC Mullen, who just played in a state semifinal down in Dayton and, did the thing down there. She was very, very good down there. She's a very good basketball player in her own right. Going to be on this team. Again, I want to bring this to the attention of not just the guys, the girls as well. I want to make sure you got to get this waiver done prior to playing in the game. And with the girls, with registration starting at 4:00 and your game starting at 5:00, it would be in your best interest if you had this waiver done prior to registration. Just because, we've got an hour and we've got to get a lot of people checked in, and we want to get you guys ready for the game. So do your very best to try and get that waiver completely done, completely knocked out. No worries. We give you your stuff, and it's time to play some basketball. Yeah, just a reminder, go on and head over to the website. There's a lot of great stuff here. You go through all these different tabs, have different things. You can meet our team. Obviously live games will be right here. You've got some college baseball and lacrosse from yesterday that's available before it gets archived. You'll be able to watch it. It's a phenomenal, it is a great, great website. I think it's a great tool, honestly, for the local sports fan. And I'm not just saying this because it's, the company I'm with. YSN is truly a great tool to keep up with local sports. And anything from the river down in Mahoning Valley all the way to the Great Lake Erie. Everything in between there is covered. 68 schools all inside of that. And you're just going to get the best of the best. There's a ton of content, an absolute metric ton of content that's going to happen with that. So we're going to go to our first break. When we come back, we are going to do a Edgewood softball preview. I got a chance to talk to Randy Venzel, who's going to be coaching, he's not just a basketball coach, he's a pretty darn good softball coach as well. So he gave me some great information. We're actually going to have him on the show. Wanted to get an interview knocked in with him, but all-star game and stuff coming up. Let's give him a break this week. But we will get him on the show here very, very soon. He's an awesome coach and more importantly, he's a good person. He's a father and a community leader and somebody that I look up to greatly because I think he does it, and I think he does it in the right way. So we'll have him on the show here very, very soon. But before we go to this Toyota of Warren, I got to give my daily pitch. I just want to remind you that the 440 Sports Show is brought to you by absolutely nobody yet. 440 Sports Show is one of the many advertising opportunities that we have for you right here at YSN. 440 Sports Show is Ashtabula's only daily morning sports talk show. You would be getting your product out to a lot of people who care about local sports, a lot of people who care about this local area. It's a great way to show off your product. It's a great way to show off your company. It's a great way to help the youth, because all of these advertisings, all of these dollars, all of these sponsors fuel the fire behind YSN. And the fire that YSN is trying to cook is increased exposure for athletes, is providing a better experience for local athletes, and just providing a better local sports scene. That's my pitch, and I'm sticking to it, guys. We'll be back here in just about 2.5 minutes after we start off with our friends at Toyota of Warren.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we offer a worry-free experience for all our customers. From sales to financing and even service, we'll help build your perfect vehicle
and lock in your trade value
while your vehicle is being built.
No worries.
We guarantee financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
No worries. And when your vehicle needs service,
our award-winning team will get you back on the road.
No worries.
That's what going the extra mile means. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing.
Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships.
We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team.
Your goals, our game plan.
Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun, it all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
All right, welcome back, folks. Thanks for joining. Sam Torres here from the 440 Sports Show. We are getting ready to jump into the Edgewood Warriors softball preview. Now, this is the second preview on softball players that we have done on the year so far. I'm sorry, I just had to get that knocked out there. It's the second one that we've done on the year. We've got 5 more coming, 7 teams right here in Ashtabula County going to be previewed right here on the 440 Sports Show. One of the things I'm really having fun with, and one of the biggest reasons is the getting to know these teams prior. Now, there's a couple teams, including Edgewood, which is one I'm going with, the one we're going to do today, that I'm getting to know a little bit better than last year. But, with covering 3 games or, 2 games a week, and we're going to be shooting for 3 on my own personal goal this year. There's going to be a lot of baseball and softball on the network. I can tell you, even on days where I don't have the opportunity to cover a baseball or softball game due to whatever restrictions are in place, there's going to be a lot of games on YSN. So it's one of those places you got to remember, guys, it's free to watch. This is not the playoffs. The only time you're ever going to run into a charge on YSN is when there is the only time you're going to run into a charge is when it's a playoff game. And that's only because that's only because we get charged. So we have to recoup that somewhere. Sorry, just trying to get some of those positions back in order. All right. So let's jump right into it here. I think one of the biggest things, and we're going to talk about it with returning players after we get into there, is there's a lot of pitching. They lost a lot of pitching from last year. You look at their 4 pitchers that they lost from last year, and it's the 4 players and 4 players lost. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be pitching for the Warriors this year. But let's start off with their schedule. April 4th, they're going to start at home versus Perry. They play right behind Edgewood High School over there on Blake Road if you ever want to go catch a game. April 6th, they're going to be heading over to play the Grand Valley Mustangs, another county matchup, big-time matchup here. That isn't just a county matchup. They are actually conference and division foes, as in baseball and softball, Edgewood sits in the CVC Valley division. April 10th, they're going to Madison. April 12th, they're going over to Lakeside, and it's a battle for the bridge, the softball edition. That's one of those. It's one of the bigger rivalries in this area. Anybody from this area already knows that. They're going to be back home on the 14th as they take on Conneaut, who is their other rival, and that's probably Ashtabula County's oldest rivalry, is Edgewood versus Conneaut. On the 18th, they're going to be heading over to Conneaut, playing over there at that beautiful facility. April 21st, they're going to be hosting Madison. That's one of the games I'm very interested to see how that's going to go. Madison athletics has really improved over the last 2 years, and I know that they've always got some really great athletes out there. April 26th, they're going to be taking on Grand Valley at home. April 28th, a YSN family member, they're going to head down there as they play Struthers, the Wildcats. Then they're going to start May 1st. May 1st, they're going to be hosting Lakeside for the Battle of Bridge 2.0. May 3rd, they're going to be taking on Geneva. That's a game that should have had a star next to it too. We're just trying to see what the schedules are going to be out, because that is a game that is most likely going to be covered. Not only because it's a great matchup, but for Geneva games, I have to do my very best to catch them when they're on the road. Unfortunately, right now, 7 out of 8 Ashtabula schools are part of our family here at YSN. We're trying to get an agreement in place with Geneva so we can make it a complete, so we can, essentially get that final stone in the glove. Unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen. And because of that, our coverage of Geneva will only be on the road, and there's some opportunities and stuff that we aren't able to provide them because they're not YSN school. And I know I harp on this every day, but it's one of those things. If you think it into existence, if you speak it out, then it may change. I'm a big believer in that. My fingers are crossed that we are going to get Geneva into the YSN family and then can start providing this extra coverage and all of these extras to the Geneva students who are so deserving of all of this. There are great students out there and there are great parents out there. And unfortunately, this opportunity, this service that we offer, that we're doing for these kids, is not something that has been welcomed out there yet by the school. But my fingers are crossed. I hope that changes. Best of luck in all of your home games. I will see you guys quite a bit on the road, though. May 8th, they're going to be taking on St. John. That's a game I can almost guarantee I'm going to be at. That being St. John at Smith Field is where they're going to play that, right there on West Avenue in Ashtabula, Ohio, for those of you who are not familiar with the area. West Avenue, Smith Field. It's the only baseball field you're going to find on West Avenue. It's big. It's right off the street. They're going to play in the back, or I'm sorry, Smith Field's baseball field. They're going to play in the back at Softball City. But you have Smith Field, which is the big field, and then Softball City right behind it. April 5th, they're going to West Geauga. April 8th, they're going to Crestwood. They're going to host Crestwood. April 11th, they're going to Grand Valley for the second matchup of the year with the Mustangs. April 13th, they are going to be hosting the Jefferson Falcons. Jefferson Falcons softball, very, very good. That's going to be a game to watch. I can promise you that. April 17th, they are at Geneva. Obviously, we can't cover that one. April 20th, they are going to our friends in Andover in Pymatuning Valley. April 24th, they're going to Perry. April 27th, they're heading to Jefferson. Here's another interesting matchup on their schedule. April 29th, they're going against Erie, Pennsylvania, Erie High School. So that's an interesting one, because not a team that we get to see a whole lot right here. May 2nd, they're going to be. That doesn't seem right. Oh, I see what happened here. That so the number, yeah. So I utilize their schedule. And as I'm looking at this right now, I'm realizing that the dates do not go up and down. The dates go left and right. So I'll have that fixed before that gets out to Instagram. May 2nd, they're going against PV. May 4th, they're going against Howland. And May 9th, they're going to end their year at home versus West Geauga. So that's going to be their schedule this year. Coach Randy Bensel does a phenomenal job with these young ladies. They have a 2022 record of 8-8. There were some ups and downs, some highs, some lows for them, and he'll be the first one to admit that. But the biggest thing is these girls were they always continued to try. And I think because of the leader that they have, these girls never feel like they're out of it. They had some wins against the rivals, a little bit of, trouble with some of the bigger teams. But overall, I mean, wins over, they took a loss to Madison. They got a win against Madison. They took a loss to Geneva. They got a win against Geneva. So they split the series with a lot of the teams on the year, which is why they have an 8-8 record. It was a game, I can't wait to get a chance to check them out this year, because one of the things I was talking about is the 4 pitchers that pitched in the games that I got to watch and got to broadcast and got to call last year were, in fact, Claire Randolph, Caitlin Ezone, Maya Beatty, and Bella Varquette. Those were their 4 pitchers. And as you can tell, they're in one category here. But some of the young ladies that they have returning, including Sophia Palillo, is a great infielder. I believe she did some pitching last year as well. McKenna Venzel is a great infielder, also a great bat, and very, very fast. Avery Toth coming back, playing some infield for them. Brie Meloragno going to play some outfield for them. McKaylee Overly is going to be a spot player. I've seen her. I got to see her playing both in the infield and the outfield last year. So Gianna Ionetta and McKenna Rhodes. McKenna Rhodes also playing the infield, some shortstop, some third base, that sort of deal. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these young ladies is going to take over the pitching role, or is it going to be one from one of the new additions? So the freshmen coming in here, Lucy Paolillo, Natalie Ionetta, and Addie Lamson coming in for the Edgewood Warriors this year. Who is going to be the pitcher? And we're going to find out sooner than later as when we sit down with Randy Venzel on this show. He'll give us an idea of what the plans are. I can tell you what the overall plan for the year is. And Coach says his expectations this year are simply to compete in every single game. They want to make sure that they're having fun along the way. And they want to win games, and most importantly, they want to make memories. And I know that a lot of that sounds like coach speak. I know a lot of that seems like stuff you've heard from every coach, trying to, coach any sport. I can tell you with Randy Venzel, I believe it to be true because I've seen it time after time, year after year, in every sport he coaches. When he goes out there, he genuinely does his best to try and make sure the girls learn the game, have fun learning the game, and learn to be competitive. But at no point, this is a guy, he's like a quiet guy. You know what I mean? You never hear him raising his voice or anything like that. I've never heard him, at least. You know what I mean? And he's somebody that the girls respect. He's somebody that the girls turn to. I saw games where they were winning, and I saw games that when they were losing. His demeanor does not change. And because he is, so even keel, I think so is the team. They look to their leader in Coach Randy Venzel, and because of that, I think they're better for it. I'm really excited to watch them play this year. Softball is something I think we're going to get more coverage of this year as well. There's a lot of great games, a lot of great teams in this area. And make sure you're checking out www.ysn Live every day because you want to go over to live games and see what games are going to be on there today. Again, it's the best value in sports. You go down there and you're going to see games, a whole list of them. I can't wait to start showing you as they get scheduled. It's really going to be great. I can tell you that next week we are going to start our first game. Our first broadcast is going to be Lakeside versus Jefferson. That one I can stamp it, mark it down, unless Mother Nature has something else to say. But yeah, here is your Edgewood Warriors softball preview. It's going to be a great year for these young ladies. I cannot wait to see how this turns out. Randy Venzel does just a phenomenal job with these young ladies and has in the past and will continue to do so. I really look up to him not only as a coach, as a father, as a person. So that's going to be our preview on the Edgewood Warriors softball team. I want to talk about a couple other events before we leave the show today. On March 31st, we're going to be covering the Joe Pigskin Pete alumni game. Joe Pigskin Pete, for those of you outside of Ashtabula who are not familiar with him, Joe Pigskin Pete was a legendary broadcaster right here within Ashtabula County. He's the first person to make Ashtabula High School sports matter. This is the guy who covered it with gusto that I could only aspire to have one day. He knew all the athletes. He knew all the teams. He knew what was going on. He made every single team, every single athlete that came in his presence felt special. And it's because he had a love for this area and he had a love for high school sports. It is that love that he showed when I was in high school that is part of the reason why I'm doing this today, because I saw what a difference he made. And he was somebody I always looked up to as a young man, when it came to career aspirations. I never had any idea I would do any sort of broadcasting, any idea that I would do anything with covering high school sports in general. I just knew I loved sports. I just knew I loved the way he made people feel. I loved the way he covered it. I loved the way he made Ashtabula matter. In 2012, we lost him. Ashtabula lost a giant. We lost a son, a brother, a father, a great person, a giant within the community. And it was far, far too soon. His legacy carries on, though, through these alumni games and through his association. So on March 31st, 2023, the Pigskin Pete alumni game going to happen right there at Jefferson High School starting at 5 o'clock. The proceeds obviously going to go to this association, which is going to help with scholarships for local athletes in the area. It's a phenomenal organization for a phenomenal human being. I'm very, very proud to be a part of this. I'm very, very proud to be broadcasting it. Anything I can do to help the person who I hold in such high regard because of all the work he did, the tireless work that he provided for the local sports scene here. I'm more than willing to, and I'm honored to. So that's going to be on the 31st. Mark your cameras going on down into June 24th at 10 a.m. over at Lakeside High School. And Lakeside graduate Emilio Parks going to have his second annual Hoops Classic. This one is going to be a bring your own team. It's going to be at Lakeside High School. This one going to be broadcasted here as well. We won't get the entire event. We're going to be broadcasting the championship rounds. It's a pretty long event starting at 10 a.m. But it's going to be a great game. He does a great job with it. You know, he did his first one last year and it was a blast. There was some great basketball. We broadcasted it. It was a long day, but it was a fun day. And Emilio Parks is a Lakeside graduate, professional basketball player, has played all over the world, Puerto Rico, Indonesia, Mexico, you name it. He has been there. He has played. Just really fun. A great guy, a guy who cares about this area as well. And you know, after getting all those stamps in his passport, decided he wanted to come back and help out with a basketball tournament and give people, something to look forward to. And I'm very excited to be a part of that and help with that broadcast as well. So that's what we got going on. I'll tell you what, I want to bring this up for one final time, folks. I can't believe the day is already here. The YSN All-Star Game, Saturday. This one is going to start at 5 o'clock, not 5:30. At the time of this Flyers creation, it was 5:30, but these things tend to, go up and down. 5 o'clock, registration starting at 4 o'clock. The girls' game going to start at 5. Boys' game is going to start at 7. It's going to be Ohio's best basketball in one court. 68 schools are going to be represented. 68 different school systems, 68 different school districts have been picked through to form this All-Star Game. It's going to be an awesome one, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. And it's going to be, $10 for adults and $5 for students. If you can't make the trip down Route 11 over to the YSU to the Beagley Center, that's okay. It's going to be broadcast right here on ysnlive.com. That one will be the girls' game going to be called by Anthony and Richie. And the boys' game going to be called by myself and Ty Bartell. I really, I can't wait. I'll tell you what, me and Ty Bartell have a great time calling football games together. I got to do some stuff with him down in Las Vegas, and he's really, you think I'm an excited guy? He's an excited guy too. Very, very good on the microphone, does a phenomenal job. I want to remind you guys all to make sure you're tuning into YSN Live throughout the day, as there are going to be shows throughout the day, all day. After I get done, you're going to be able to tune back in right around 1 o'clock and see Anthony Hartwig with Running Point. He always does a phenomenal job, a ton of interviews on there, a lot of information. He's done a lot with softball down in that area. So if you want to learn softball, check out that show because he just does a great job. And then we got to talk about the Cornerstone at 3 o'clock with DJ Yoakley, Power Hour. I do want to give you guys a little snippet. There's a new show coming. You guys are going to find out about it later on. But understand that there is a new show coming with an old template and a new twist. I can't wait to show it to you guys. I can't wait to tell you. It's going to be awesome. Everybody have a phenomenal weekend. I hope to see a lot of you down there on Saturday. If not, I'll see you on Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Sam Torres here, the 440 Sports Show. Thanks for coming.
This for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo, and let's go. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmer, Tunin Valley. We from the fofo, chasing Cause if you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating no dragons who run the whole city, you wildin'. And they really doubt it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.